Hello and welcome to this Oomph CRM tutorial. My name's Tim. I'm one of the product designers here at Oomph CRM, and today we're going to be looking at how you can import your data from a CSV file into the CRM system. So to start with, head over to the main menu, click on Settings and then System Settings. Next, you want to navigate to the Import tab of the Settings page, and you'll see the Setup area here. So as you can see, here is an import that I've done previously, and this is just sort of a little banner that appears telling you whether the import was successful or not, and you can also sort of see how many records were imported and what dates. So I'm just going to close that now just for the purpose of this tutorial. Okay, so as you can see, we have the first field here, which is the import type. We have this because there is 4 different types of data that you can import. The process is exactly the same for each one. The only difference is the fields involved, because fields in the customers area, for example, are different to fields in the products area. Therefore, when you are uploading your import file, the fields will have to be different to cater for those different import types. So today we're going to be looking at customers, but as I say, the process is exactly the same. So if we just click on customers, you'll also notice that we have the download the example CSV template for customers underneath. Again, this changes and updates for each one. So as you can see, we've gone into products, we have a different template for products. So by simply clicking this, we can download the template. Now, you don't have to use a template. You can just use, if you have a CSV file and you want to use, that, and you don't want to mess around too much with that, you can do that. We just recommend using the template because we just think it makes, life a lot easier when it comes to mapping the fields between the CSV and the CRM system, but we'll get to that in a moment. So if I just download that again, just so it's up here, so we'll go for this one. I've got 2 now, but I'm just going to click on this one just to show you what the template looks like. Just give me a second while that opens. Sorry, here we go. So here is our template. So as you can see, we have 2 records in here in the template. That's just some placeholder. It's just some random content there just to sort of give you an idea of what content falls under each heading. So you can see general email address, you can see the kind of content that it requires, and all of these headings at the top here, these are all of the fields in the customers area of the CRM. So again, as I say, it's all done for you. There might just be a little bit of taking out this dummy data here and adding in your own actual data, saving that CSV and just sort of getting that ready. So there will be a bit of a process there for you. Once it's ready, you want to head to the import file field. If we click on that, it'll open up your file browser. You simply select your data, your CSV, and then you'll see straight away we have a CSV upload preview. I'll just make this really a bit larger now. You'll see this upload preview here, and as you can see, it is exactly the same as what we just saw in the CSV document, which is great. It's just a little area just to so you could check that the data that you're adding here is the correct that it's correct. You'll also notice here that we have the first row of CSV is headers toggle, so that just lets the system know that the very top row, the first row, is headers. It's not actual content. So with that off, it will treat it as actual content. So as you can see here, it's now treating that top row as the actual content. So we don't want that in this scenario, so I'm going to turn that on and let the system know that the very first row is our headers and the content begins on row number 2. If you are struggling when you are doing this, there are some tool tips which are just in this when you hover over the this little icon here. Okay, so next we have the assign fields area. So this is what we talked about earlier when we talked about mapping fields together from the CSV to the system. So all of these field headings here, like this one, these are the actual names of the fields in the system, in the customers area of the CRM. And if we click on the drop down, these are the fields that are in your CSV file. So this is where you'll see the beauty of the template coming into play, as the names are exactly the same. So it just makes things really, really easy when you're just sort of mapping these fields together. Obviously, if you had different field names, so for example, customer name was just called name in your CSV, then you would have to, sort of look through and, map those together. You'll also notice that some fields have an asterisk and some don't, and that just indicates mandatory fields. So, we just need, that's the sort of bare minimum data that we need in order to get those into the system. And there isn't many of those at all. And again, in the template, these are also marked here as well, as you can see. So I'm just going to map a few of these to get now. Do general email address. There we go. I think that's it for this section. Just scroll down a little bit. You might also notice this entering data manually toggle. So basically all this is it's a way of overriding the CSV import basically. So say we did have a sales/account manager heading in our CSV file, that might have a variety of different sales and account managers belonging to different customers. So you might have 100 customers shared between 20 different sales and account managers. However, if you don't, or if you want to just keep it to one, you can do that. So if we turn this on, we can override that. So for this field, for every record that we have imported, we can manually override that and tell the system what sort of data to use for that. So when we click into this drop down menu here, you can see that the drop down contents has changed. The contents here, these are actual users, okay, because that's what this field in the system sort of comes, it sort of uses the users in your system. So obviously they are all the users that you have active and set up. So by selecting Albert Smith, for example, we can tell the import that every single record that we import in here, so our 100 records, they all have Albert Smith as the account manager. We can do that if we want, but I'm not going to do it for the purpose of this tutorial, just to keep things simple, but you do have that option. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll through a little bit more, fill out some of these mandatory fields. Surname, and then we've got some location as well. Just like one, city there, postcode, and I think that's everything. Just have a little quick check through, just to make sure that we've got everything that we need. As I say, I'm not doing all of the fields, and you don't have to either. As long as you do the mandatory fields, you should be good to go. Okay, so that's looking good. You'll see that your custom fields are also here as well. These are obviously the custom fields that you have set up in your system. So you can, if you have your own custom fields in your CSV, you can match those up very easily as well, just at the bottom here. So now that we're ready, if we click Start Importing, we'll see the process start to take place. There we go, import process started, and straight away we have our two records imported there. So if we go into customers now, we can have a look and see if those records are now in the system. So the first one was Yorkshire Cafe, so if we just use a quick search, as you can see there, if we click into that, the record is successfully imported. You'll also notice that the fields that we mapped, which were only the mandatory fields, have also been populated, which is why there's not a lot of data populated. For example, these are all empty, but we left those empty in the import process. Okay. You'll also see that the location that we added as well. If we click into that, you can see that they have imported successfully as well. So as you can see, the nickname, we've got the address line 1, which was a mandatory field, that we added. Same with the city and the postcode. And then finally, in contacts as well, we only had the first name and the surname again. So yeah, again, many blank fields, but that's just, for the purpose of this tutorial. I hope this video was of some use. This has been me, Tim, taking you through the import process of Oomph CRM. I hope you found the video useful, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.